The avoidant convinced themselves that life would return to normal once you were gone. They believed that the relief of not having to navigate intimacy would outweigh any sense of loss, that their routine would resume its comfortable predictability, that they would quickly adapt to your absence, the way they always adapted before. But they were catastrophically wrong. Things are not the same without you. Not even close. Every aspect of their life that felt stable and sufficient before you entered it now feels diminished, hollow, marked by your absence in ways they cannot ignore no matter how hard they try. The silence that used to feel like peace now feels like emptiness. The avoidant always prized their solitude, framed it as preference rather than defense mechanism. Before you, being alone felt like freedom, but now the silence in their space feels oppressive rather than peaceful. They come home to emptiness that echoes with your absence. The routines that once provided comfort now highlight what is missing. Making coffee for one, watching shows alone, going through entire days without meaningful conversation. These activities were fine before you, but having experienced them with you, doing them alone again, reveals how much they were settling for less without realizing it. The avoidant discovers that the peace they thought they needed was actually just emotional numbing, and your presence awakened them to the difference between contentment and mere absence of discomfort. Things are not the same, because the silence they used to inhabit comfortably now feels like deprivation. Everything reminds them of what they lost. The avoidant cannot escape reminders of you. Places they used to frequent are now haunted by memories of times you were there together. Songs trigger associations they cannot shut off. Random objects carry significance because you commented on them once. Even new experiences are tainted because the avoidant finds themselves thinking about how you would have reacted, what you would have said, whether you would have enjoyed this. The world has become a landscape of absence, every corner holding some echo of what they destroyed. Things are not the same because you infiltrated their life so thoroughly that your removal left visible wounds everywhere they look. The avoidant thought they could compartmentalize you, keep you separate from the rest of their existence. But you became woven into their daily reality, and now that you are gone, the entire fabric feels torn. The achievement that means nothing without you to share it with. The avoidant accomplishes things they thought would bring satisfaction. They reach goals, have successes, experience moments that should feel significant. But the victory is hollow because you are not there to share it with. They want to tell you about the promotion, the project that succeeded, the small triumph that would have made you proud. But you are gone, and sharing it with anyone else does not provide the same validation. The avoidant realizes too late that you were the person who made their achievements feel meaningful, whose reaction mattered in ways no one else's did. Things are not the same because success without your acknowledgement feels empty, and they finally understand that they were not as independent as they believed. Your presence gave their life texture and meaning they took for granted until it was gone. The relationships that cannot fill the space you left. The avoidant tries to move on, meets new people, attempts to recreate what they had with you, but every interaction highlights what is missing. This person does not understand them the way you did. That person does not laugh at their humor. Someone else does not provide the specific kind of acceptance you offered. The avoidant discovers that you were not generic or replaceable, but specifically suited to them in ways they cannot find elsewhere. Things are not the same because every new connection is measured against you and fails the comparison, and the avoidant is forced to confront that they fumbled someone irreplaceable while convincing themselves people are interchangeable. The realization that they were happier and did not know it. Perhaps the most painful discovery is that the avoidant was actually happier with you than they are without you. But they only realize this in retrospect. When you were present, they focused on the discomfort of intimacy, the fear of vulnerability, the ways you challenge their patterns. But now that you are gone, they see clearly that despite that discomfort, they were more alive, more engaged, more themselves than they are in your absence. The discomfort they ran from was actually growth. The challenge you presented was actually healing. The vulnerability they feared was actually the path to the connection they needed. Things are not the same because the avoidant finally understands what they lost. But this understanding arrives too late to matter, too late to bring you back, too late to do anything except haunt them with the knowledge that they destroyed their own happiness through fear, disguised as self-protection.